Good morning. It is Friday, December 11th, 2020, and we have a great guest today. We spoke earlier to the wonderful Marina Maddow about what she's doing to celebrate the holidays and sharing on Facebook, which is super cool. Now let's take a look at that interview now and see what Marina has to say.
Well, this is Marina Maddow, and Marina does all kinds of great stuff, but one of the great things that she does is also works with our People First group in Fairmont. And you can tell us, you're currently do you hold a title with the People First group this time around? Because she's changed different titles. So are you the secretary or the president? What are you this time around in the group?
I'm the secretary of Marion County.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, Marina does a lot of amazing things. She runs 5Ks, which we'll ask her about. She's going to college. And then somewhere in the middle of all that, she has time. This is the 7th year of her Advent countdown. And so I noticed your great clothes you've been wearing, your sweaters and stuff. And I was like, well, wow, for 7 years. So talk about your Christmas countdown.
Well, it all started a year earlier when my mother did her Advent series on Facebook, and I've been at least following hers up to Christmas. And then I decided to do my series the following year. Well, the first 3 years of my Advent series were like Christmas music videos. On the first day, I do When We Hear a Christmas Carol from An All Dogs Christmas Carol to Christmas Eve with Best Christmas of All, Mickey's Magical Christmas, Stuck in the House of Mouse. I always end. But in the beginning of my 2016 series, I did movies and specials and I put it on Facebook up to Christmas Eve, as usual. And then I did very different in 2017 and 18 when I did a Christmas worldwide theme. I did at least from how they do celebrations and their traditions around the world and their recipes.
So you did those separately. So you did like traditions around the world in 1 year, and then like 2017 and then 2018, you did the different food.
Yes. And then last year's series, I did movie facts, at least, of Christmas movies and you know what they did.
Which was awesome. I was looking through some of those and I was like, it never occurred to me who Rudolph's dad was, or I never paid attention. So there's lots of great trivia. So they're still up. So that's still cool stuff to go look at. So then what inspired you for this year?
Well, I decided to do Christmas clothes I wear every day up to Christmas Eve. And also I take pictures at least with trees, Santas, and also I did one today I did with our Christmas village.
So now do you have like a whole bunch of Christmas sweaters, or there's lots of things that people wear only at Christmas like that. How do you decide what you're going to display?
Well, I decided I had ideas and at least what I wear. Okay,
so how did you find enough? Were you concerned you were going to have enough to last clear till Christmas?
Yes, I had at least a lot of ideas and combinations, too, with my outfits.
Oh, that's a great idea. So you kind of mix and match things.
Yep.
And your hair looks really pretty. What is in your hair?
Oh, it's a headband. It says, "Up to Snow Good."
That's great.
I love it. And one of my favorite things about Christmas is snowmen. And I love the way you're framed right now with the snowmen behind you. Tell us about those.
Well, since mostly snowmen were like another Christmas thing I have, at least with winter's coming up.
Is that all that you have, or do you have more?
Well, I have like more Christmas ideas. Like I have penguin, snowflake. Also, I have birds.
Oh.
And other Christmas stuff, and also and fox, and also I do Disney too.
Oh.
So now, is that all the snowmen that you have on display behind you, or do you have a bigger collection that we can't see?
Let's see. Since we have these are plenty of the snowmen we have.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
That's very nice. So now you do a lot of other stuff that I mentioned.
Yes. So Doug said that you run in, in 5Ks. Tell me about that.
Well, since with my running, since I do at least a lot of running, since I didn't do any running, at least 5Ks this year, since due to COVID, I did a couple of virtual races. I did one in April for the Falcon 5K, and I did the Clarksburg 10K earlier this summer, and I did another virtual 5K around Thanksgiving time.
So now how does that actually work? How do the virtual one, because they do one here in Parkersburg, they do a turkey trot, and they said they were doing it virtually because you can't have big groups. How does that work?
Well, you have to register online in advance.
Okay.
And then you run on your own. Is that how that works?
Yes, I run on my own.
Very good. How long does it take to do a 5K? I know it would take me longer than it would take you, but how long does it take you?
At least a half hour to 40 minutes.
That's a pretty good commitment, and you must do a great job. Good for you. Do you run in your neighborhood with the virtual ones, or do you go someplace special?
Well, I do at least up at Crabapple, I do at the North Marion Track, and I go to the West Fork River Trail.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Do you like running on trails in the woods more? Does that surface, or do you only like running on hard concrete? What's your favorite surface to run on?
Either trail or track.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it just a little flatter and smoother? Is that why you like that?
Yes. Yeah, I get more better timing.
I was just thinking, I walk like a 20-minute mile, and she's doing 5Ks in 30 minutes to 40. I need to speed up just a little bit. So what was your interest in running? How did you get started doing that?
Well, since about the beginning of 2019, since I had to get need to get more exercise in before this big 5K I did in April around Easter time. My parents want me to at least do 5Ks.
Oh, very good. So they're supportive.
I just wondered if running was a new thing, or whether you did that in school, or how you got interested in running in general.
Well, after I graduated, and then I did about the beginning of 2019. I needed to at least do a 5K run I did a couple of at least 5K runs over at least last year, the Falcon 5K, the 4th of July one in Fairview, and the Reindeer Run in Fairmont.
Very good. Now, you mentioned after you graduated, you started running. So you meant after you graduated from high school, I imagine.
I did running at least for a while, but then I stopped with my running because getting program assistant and also starting college.
That's what we wanted to talk to you about. Tell us a little bit about college. You know, what made you decide to go? What kind of classes are you taking?
Well, it was about 5 years ago, about the DAC decided to want me to do college, and also it was really taking the next big step in my life. And then they decided to do Pierpont in Fairmont. And then, I got accepted to Pierpont on Christmas Eve of 2015.
Nice. That's a great Christmas present. So how many classes are you taking? I remember when I was taking classes, I was like, you have to take 15 hours or 18 hours or so many a semester. How many classes but some people take less. How many classes are you taking?
Well, since I'm a part-time student, since I take at least a class per semester.
Okay, very
except
good.
For that one semester, I did two when I did the map and the math support.
Oh,
That was
okay.
really the busiest semester I ever had.
Do you have a class that's been your favorite so far?
Let's see. I ever like the math one and the intro communication class was like my favorite.
Is that where you did the speech that you taught that wonderful speech class during the conference?
Yes, that was. When I did the intro of my communication class, and I took at least that semester with speeches.
Well, we certainly can tell that you learned a lot because you did such a great presentation, and we appreciate that. We look forward to the other classes that you're taking, and hopefully you'll keep in touch and let us know if you want to teach another class for People First.
I will, and I could do that in the future.
We would really like that. I did want to ask, though, back to your talk about Christmas time from a few years ago. Do you cook? So did you make any of those desserts or food you learned from around the world that you now make as part of your Christmas tradition?
Well, a few years ago, when I did in 2018 about when our people, the year when you guys came to one of our Christmas parties, I made at least Mexican Christmas cookies.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
So we do everything with humor here at our office, Marina. And so I'm thinking that if Doug and I are going to run a 5K, we're going to need you to make some food for us and have that at the end. And that'll be our motivator to run.
Yes.
What do you think?
Mostly, we always do, mostly for best, we have, Gatorade and possibly fruit.
All right. We might need you to step it up a notch and have some cookies for us at the end.
Yeah, sometimes I know they eat pasta either before or after, but yeah, we like to have cookies. So we're not professional runners like that. So we'll now if you could put fruit in the cookies, so you make cherry filled cookies or some kind of fruit flavored cookies, then we'll do that. Okay.
So our last question for you is, what is your favorite thing about Christmas?
Well, since the favorite thing I do for Christmas is mostly I do my Advent series, and also I do on Christmas Eve, I mostly be home with the family for Christmas Eve. And we always do, my family does on Christmas Eve, we have our little Christmas Eve buffet.
Oh,
it has been tradition for us every year.
Very nice.
What do you have on that buffet?
Let's see, we have cheese, salami, crackers, and also we have some sweet stuff, and also sometimes a few years ago we had pasta.
Very nice.
Well, when we all get back together, I think we need to, when it's safe again, I think we need to take a road trip up to Marina so she can,
I'm in.
Or when we're traveling around the state when it's safe, like we were going to do this year, we'll just make sure we stop off at the DAC and talk. Maybe we need to get Marina with Dee Dee, and they could do a dual cooking class or something like that.
Well, they could do a competition.
Oh, there you go. So.
Ooh, like MasterChef.
Yes.
That's good.
Well, Marina, we really appreciate your taking the time to be with us. And we are inspired by your Christmas spirit. Yes. We know that it's been a little bit of a challenging year for people, and it's really cool to be able to talk to somebody like you that keeps the Christmas spirit alive.
Yes, since with a lot of our people with the Disability Action Center and some of our People First members of Marion County are worries with the corona this year and also with different changes.
Well, and that's why we appreciate so much you sharing your tradition on Facebook so that everybody can share in that. And we appreciate that very much because that'll help certainly I know every day when I look, I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. So I hope that's bringing a smile to everyone else's face too. So thank you for sharing the joy of the holiday season with us.
Thank you, Doug. And as you may know, have a very Merry Christmas, you two.
Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I think we both agree that we had a great guest and the holiday spirit is alive and well and the magic of Christmas has arrived.
And we have our plan. Our next travel plans will include stopping by Marina's to eat some great food and working with Dee Dee County to see if maybe she can help teach the next cooking class.
Exactly. I don't think we've ever been there and not had a great meal.
No, that's fantastic. So speaking of the holidays, we started our back for Friendsgiving. Don't forget, coming up on December the 22nd at 3 o'clock is the Holiday Palooza. There's no agenda. It's just a time to get together and socialize, show us stuff like we heard from Marina. Let us know, because it'll just be 2 days before Christmas. If there's some tradition, we can't, at my house, we would typically go out to there's a 24-hour restaurant, so everything else closes on Christmas Eve. We can't go there. We're just staying safe away from public places. So we're going to do something different for our Christmas Eve tradition. And then we'll go drive around and see the lights. So if you have a cool Christmas tradition like that you do, let us know what it is, or maybe how that's changed for this year as we're all adapting to 2020. But don't miss it, 3 o'clock on December 22nd, Holiday Palooza. And we'll post that on Facebook, as we always do, to make it easy to join in. We also have a big announcement.
Yes, we are excited to be doing a statewide People First meeting all together on Zoom. And this will be a monthly meeting for people who either live too far from a local group or if your group isn't meeting. There'll be an agenda. It'll run just like the regular meetings. And the first meeting will be on Tuesday, January 12th. At 3 p.m.
That's right. And many organizations do this. It's just something, there's lots of organizations all over the country, Rotary, different ones where people, if they travel or just can't be at a meeting, you join in with the meeting. So we know there's some people who live in areas that either haven't met for a while or because of COVID aren't able to meet, or maybe you live just a little too far away to make it practical to travel to a local People First meeting. Here's a way that everybody can join in. That's on January the 12th.
Yes, and then we want to remind people to sign up for our monthly newsletter. We want to be able to share great information with you. We want everybody to be able to share information with us that we can include in the newsletter. It's just an important way to communicate, especially since we can't be face-to-face for a while. If you're not getting the newsletter and you want to, please let us know.
We've got some cool stuff coming up. Obviously, Disability Advocacy Day will be in March, and I was just talking to Paul Smith from Fair Shake Network. And so people will call us and say, hey, when can we sign up? All the registration information will come out in those newsletters. And that way you'll have it and you can refer back to it, and that will make it easy for everybody. So that's what's coming up in the newsletter. Also, the Selfie Advocacy Contest, we're giving you plenty of notice. So while we're all staying home, staying safe, great time to work on your stories, whether it's in writing, creating a video, maybe you do painting, other types of artwork. We want you to tell us about something that you have overcome. We all overcome different struggles in our lives. It might be getting your driver's license. It might be something that you don't think is a big deal, but everyone else might be, well, wow, they live in their own, you may think it's not a big deal. You have your own apartment now. That's a big deal. You decided to move out. Get your own apartment independently.
Exactly. So send those our way. And speaking of overcoming things, Doug and I are not going to go over all of the resources today, but we want you to remember that we have lots of great information regarding COVID-19. And you can look here on the Facebook page, or you can go to peoplefirstwv.org. And one of the sites I really want to, because the information changes along with the governor and all that kind of stuff, I want to make sure that you go to the ARC of the United States. They have a special COVID-19 resource that's linked right off the People First. And they have all kinds of information about advocacy. They do different action alerts, legislation, and they have a new collection of plain language materials. So, and in different languages too. So if there's certain things that you want to know about COVID-19, because it's still with us and we're still working through it, there's lots of plain language information right on the ARC of the United States website, and it's linked right from ours. So exactly. And remember, go to the source, go to the experts. I also, regarding COVID-19, want to let you know that this will be the last meeting that Doug and I will do in person. We are concerned about the numbers increasing. We're concerned about you. We're concerned about everybody we work with. So from now on, I'll be upstairs in my office and Doug will be downstairs in his office so that we don't have to be together. And we will share our Facebook Live that way.
Yes, Zoom's great technology, and we will certainly be using that technology to continue to be sharing with you. So
exactly. So let's see. We said it's December 11th, which means it is 2 weeks until Christmas. So
wow.
We hope you guys have a great week, and we are building up to Christmas, and we want you to stay healthy and safe.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.